Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to show you guys how to change light configs, but I'm going to be focusing on how to change the emissive to make it brighter and have more glare, and how to change the actual light on the road to show more or show less light on the road. That's a request that I've had in the new Discord channel called Video Requests, where if you need help and you can't find it, you let me know and I make the video. So the first thing we're going to do is hit Settings, Assetto, Python Apps, and enable Developer Apps. If you don't enable Developer Apps, you won't be able to see Object Inspector, which is something that you're going to want to use for this. The next thing that we can do is click Drive, set your time right here to be nighttime, right click the map, hit Folder, which will bring up this window, and then you click on the track at the top to be in the track folder, and go to Extension and open up ext_config, which is going to give you this window here. And now what we'll do is we will load into the game at nighttime in single player in practice mode. And now we'll hit go. The main thing to note here is that there are different values in these light configs that will do different things. This is serving as a quick help request video for somebody that posted in the Discord that wants a quick helping hand with some of this stuff. I'm going to make that video now, so if you need any specific help with some unique things and you want videos for them from a reliable creator, go ahead and post in my Discord and let me know. And just like how he did, I will get back to you in a timely manner with all of the information that you're looking for. So we should be loaded in any second now, and here it is. We are loaded into the game, and as you can see right off the bat, the lights on this parkade are extremely bright. They are bright in glare, they are bright on the ground, and they are overall bright. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to do this with just one of these lights, and then you guys can do the rest for yourself. So the first thing is first, we want to open up our peer config, and we want to make sure that in our peer config we don't have any crazy values that have been changed. Maybe we'll put bounce light, CSP light, all that stuff to default, but then we also need to open the track and we need to make sure that we turn down the minimum glow emissive a little bit. As you can see, it does the distance of the glow. You see that? You can see it's the distance glow, and obviously a lot of people like that turned down a little bit. But now let's focus on the light when you're in front of it. So if you take a look at the street lights, we can see that the road is extremely lit the entire way down, and it's also pretty bright at night here. So here's what we need to do. Go on your app bar, type in object at the top, and then open the object inspector. And while you have that open, one thing you can do is you click Alt and then you click on the light. Now that we see material lamp 201 head, left click on it, it will copy that for you. So now we're going to open up the light config, and of course what we're going to do here is hit Control F for search, and then Control V to paste in our search. And what we see here is region material adjustments, material adjustment here. And what this is going to do, because it's a material adjustment, is it's going to be making the actual emissive on the material different. So let's just say, for example, I wanted it to be more red than anything. You know, we can go 200 and 200 here, red, green, blue. So 255 red, 200 green, 200 blue, and let's hit save and see what happens with the light. And cancel on the object inspector. As you can see, the light has slightly changed color, but there's still tons going on with the light. So let's say we wanted it a little more red. Let's lower the green and blue values to 100 and 100 and keep the red maxed out. Now let's see what happens. Now we can see that I'm going to have a red emissive going around that light. So what happens if the part of the light in the middle ends up being really white? Well, that's because the last number here is going to also affect the color of the light. So let's just say I crank this up to 5. Now let's see what happens with the light. You see what's happening there? So now the ball is even bigger, but now we've got some kind of visual bug, right? So a lot of these guys editing these light configs are doing things to your game without really knowing what they're doing, and you're not having a good graphic outcome because of that reason specifically. Also, these types of settings are going to change with your post-processing filter as well as with your graphic settings. So let's just say, for example, you know, that is what it is. It's a red light, and now it's white on the ground. So we got to fix that too. All right, so what do? We go back into here, and we're going to look for this again. But I know the one that we actually want to look for is going to be under light series. So the light series are all of the ones that are going to be affecting what's on the actual road. So again, let's just say, for example, I wanted what's on the road right now to be less. All we have to do is change this last number, and we can change the spot, and we can change the range. And now you'll notice that if I change all of these and lower these down, that our lights on the ground are now not going to be very strong. It's just loading, it's loading, it's loading still. Perhaps the game crashed, we'll see in a sec. Alright, so there you go. Now you see, if you look on the road, the spot size of the lights is no longer as big as they used to be on the road. So that's how you're going to change the road light strength as well as the emissive light strength off of the light post. That's how we do it. So on the road you have your bounced light coming from the light down to the road is your bounce light, and the CSP emissive light is the light that is up there being displayed, the colorful part. So let's go back into here, and let's just say you wanted to change the road to red or pink for whatever reason. All you're gonna have to do is come into here and go ahead and change those to 100, 100, just like we did before. And in theory, the road should now match the light. And this is how you're going to match things up. And it might take a sec to load sometimes, but now you can see I've got pinkish red lights, and they're not extremely overwhelming on the road. And I've also got pinkish red CSP emissives going on. If I want to, I can go ahead and go back to this track tab and turn up the glow of the emissives. But when you start to change the config, it's not always going to be perfect in the distance. So that's why I recommend turning that down a bit, so you don't always have to see crazy emissives in the distance, and then combining this with turning your AC video and your CSP glare quality to maximum. So watch what happens to how that glare looks when we reload in with maximum glare and post-processing settings. All of that flickering of the light and how bad the light was looking while I was moving the camera, all of that is going to fix under better settings with your post-processing. The problem here is that the higher you raise the numbers in the light config and the more you give off from the lights, the more your post-processing is engaged with the game, and therefore light configs can ruin performance for you. So you have to be very careful with understanding all of the different things that contribute to a bad performing game, because it can very well be a bad graphic mod from somebody combined with your settings. So again, let's take a look. Now our glare is not broken and it is not flickering. That's how you fix glare in Assetto Corsa, and that's also how you edit light configs as a basic beginner entry level guide. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Stay gaming.